Now, wisdom. It's the fourth of the 10 Paramis. And it's often seen as one of the sort of primary motivators, chief reasons for the practice of the other Paramis. There's a saying, having fortified herself with the power of wisdom, the wise woman forms an unshakable determination, an unshakable resolve to undertake all the Paramis. And all of these ancient heart-mind trainings of the Paramis are pointing toward the heart of wisdom. Wisdom is the opposite of ignorance. Buddha said, meditation brings wisdom, and lack of meditation leaves ignorance. Know well what leads you forward and what leads you back, and choose the path that leads to wisdom. The Paramis guide us. It's been taught that wisdom is like that lamp we take into a very, very dark house, and it dispels the darkness. It illuminates and sheds light and makes the forms that we couldn't see in the dark, the forms and shapes that we haven't seen, the forms and shapes of perceptions and opinions, prejudices that we have mistaken as the truth, becomes a little more illuminated. Understanding or growing our understanding of how these heart minds work helps us to move toward greater freedom, a little more clarity about what's important and what isn't important. Without wisdom, it's kind of hard to get down to the root causes of our suffering, all the ways we get snagged and lost in trances of unworthiness, the false messages of who we think we are and who we think another person is, or who we think another person isn't, who we think we're not. There is an inspirational writer. Her name is Mary Brown. And she wrote, preconceived notions are the locks on the door of wisdom. Preconceived notions are the locks on the door of wisdom. So we might really consider, we might want to get really curious about what are some of the preconceived notions, prejudices, because of our histories, our conditionings, our learning that we have about others and about ourselves. One of the reasons we're here practicing, at least it's for sure one of the reasons I'm here practicing, is to begin to unburden ourselves from the preconceptions and the fabrications and the false messages. They get pretty heavy. This also speaks to the renunciation, the letting go of what is no longer helpful, what actually is harmful to us. Buddha diagnosed the inmost cause of suffering as the illusion of a reified, fixed, unchanging self, and all the reactions of attachment and aversions that constellate around that. And as we practice, this becomes more illuminated. We start to see it a little more clearly. Maybe we get a little wiser. The more we engage in our practice, the more we recognize all the ways we get caught in our attractions, our aversions, and preferences, all the ways. Meditation teaches us that there is a view that is more vast and beyond all these notions. So when we say wisdom, we're not talking about what we learn in books. So that is certainly a way that we can gain wisdom, but from a Buddhist perspective, and here at the Daily Sit, we are emphasizing the wisdom that comes from an embodied practice. We have to feel this and know and learn this for ourselves, not because someone tells us this. I think we recognize that, we get it. We grow our capacity to notice and see and feel harm and move in the direction of non-harm, and we begin to see and notice and feel ease and well-being and move in that direction. Marcel Proust wrote, "There is no man, however wise, who has not at some period of his youth said things or lived in a way the consciousness of which is so unpleasant to him in later life that he would gladly, if he could, expunge it from his memory." And yet, he ought not to entirely regret it, because he cannot be certain that he has indeed become a wise man so far as it is possible for any of us to be wise, unless we pass through all the fatuous, unwholesome incarnations by which that ultimate state must be preceded. This is how we learn. This is how we grow wisdom. It is one of the fruits of practice. And just sort of kind of back to the essence of wisdom, it's knowing what leads to happiness for oneself and others, and what doesn't, and what's wholesome and what isn't. And all of these paramis help us to grow wise intention to be deliberate and to remember that the purpose of these teachings is to help us end suffering, and to develop harmlessness in thought, word, and action. I'm going to share with you today a equanimity and aspiration practice that I shared last year when we were on the Brahma Vihara of equanimity. And it's a compilation of 3 different teachers' voices: Thich Nhat Hanh, Michelle McDonald, and Ken McLeod. And I'm not even sure how I came upon this, but somebody shared it with me, so I'm happily sharing it with you guys today. And one of the ways I find helpful to listen to this, a guided practice like this, is to imagine the ones who wrote these words, spoke these words, and their relationship with these words and experiences. I will ring the bell one time when I'm finished, and then we can take some time to stretch the body and resettle, and we'll have our formal practice together. So you can keep your eyes closed. I want you to be comfortable. Let the words come to you. You will hear all of the paramis: generosity, ethics, renunciation, patience and integrity, effort and resolve, loving kindness, and the wisdom. So the meditation and aspiration begins this way. Recall the goodness in yourself. In others, and life. Recall challenges you have faced and the challenges in life. Contemplate the benefit of a heart and mind that have balance and equanimity. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I calm my mind. May I be balanced. May I be at peace for a while. Broaden the calm. Acknowledge that all things arise and pass. Joys and sorrows, pleasant and painful events, buildings, animals, nations, civilizations, even the universe. Rest in the center of all this.
May I see the world with quiet eyes. May I offer my care and presence without conditions, knowing they may be met with gratitude, anger, or indifference. May I find the inner resources to truly be able to give. May I remain in peace and let go of expectations. May I offer love, knowing I can't control the course of life, suffering, or death. I care about your pain, yet I cannot control it. I care about my own pain, yet I cannot control it. I wish you happiness and peace. Yet I cannot make your choices for you. I love you, but I know that all beings have their own journey. You have yours, and I have mine. May I see my limits compassionately, just as I view the limits of others.
May I be undisturbed by the changing circumstances of my life. May I be at peace amid all the changes of my life and amid the changes in others' lives. May I be aware and at peace with the changes that happen for myself and everyone. May I offer my efforts and help, knowing it may be of great, some, or even no benefit. May I be free from preferences and prejudices. May I know things just as they are. May I experience the world knowing me just as I am. May I see into whatever arises. So let us take a few moments to stretch the body, to shake it loose, to move about, unfasten the seatbelts, free to move about, to attend to whatever might need some attention or opening, letting the body and its wisdom tell you what is needed today. Massaging around the eyes, face, mouth. And when you're ready, coming into a posture that's comfortable and supported, we might close the eyes or soft gaze down. Noticing what is here with you and what might support some settling for you today. It's helpful taking some deliberately longer, slower breaths. Orienting toward a comfortable breath. And inviting any small graspings or grippings in the body to unwind, unfurl. And feel for the body supported by the chair, by the ground, by Mother Earth. And we might, for this short practice, remind the busy mind that it too can relax and drop open and down into the stream of body and breath. And orienting the heart toward warmth and openness. what might soften a little more. Kind eyes. All righty. Thank you, everybody, for your practice. I think, are you free to unmute?
Yes, you are.
Okay, great.
Thanks, Jay.
Be well, be well.
Thank
Take
you.
good care. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful,
Lovely.
wonderful
Thanks,
day.
Jay.
That was
Thanks
so
for
inspiring,
Jay.
Jay. Thank you.
Yes.
Be
Very
well,
much.
take good care. See you tomorrow. See you all
Thank
tomorrow.
you.
Be
Thank
well,
you
be well.
both.
Thank you.
Be well.
Take care.
Thanks,
you
Jay.
so
Thanks,
much.
Lee.
Dharma, Sangha.